that you were beautiful to me.
How's it going? Woo, y'all.
Now you are a Mario.
I'm out here in the West Coast. I had a meeting,
I just wanna let you know, baby.
and we all took the shuttle out to the meeting.
That you were beautiful to me.
And it's a group. They're recognizing a few women in financial services, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trip. Right. Good time for us to be able to talk and exchange ideas and learn, and also be celebrated. And I wanted to come in at 11, and then when we got in the shuttle to come back, they were like, "It's 9 o'clock." Of course, we're supposed to be back before 8 o'clock so that we could have our regular time. My time, well, it would be regular time over here. It still would have been late for you, but I was determined. I am determined that we're going to talk. We're going to talk about this. I want this in our record books, becoming a millionaire, using your work retirement plans and IRAs and key ideas that I have for us, and how it works, and how there's a growing number. Last year, it was estimated that the number of millionaires in work retirement plans was up like 20% for 2023. Greetings right back at you. So I think that there's some things that we just need to. I want to share that I talk with the Afro economics members about all the time, and I think that that's a key part of successfully using your work retirement plans is the assistance that I'm able to give them on exploring the investment options completely that are available to you at work. Because so many people, just choose whatever the plan might have as the allocation that's for you when I've really developed a science behind it. And I believe that the Afro economics program of finding out each of the 10 steps of Afro economics and maximizing the principles of Afro economics is a big part of how we can fully utilize the work retirement plans and be protected during job transitions. Many people historically have been found guilty of switching out their or spending, I should say, not just switching. Change doesn't have to necessarily be bad, but when people change jobs, unfortunately, it is too often used. How you doing, Mr. Ramsey? A job change is not a reason to use your retirement money. A job change is not a reason to fall off course. Um, According to the research, people are changing jobs about 7 times during their career. So if you're changing jobs 7 times, and each of the 7 times you're taking the money and you're spending it because you have access to it because you're no longer employed there, then that's 7 times that you've destroyed your retirement savings. No, instead, it's about taking advantage of the opportunity to make sure that the job transition actually works to your benefit. Now, thank you so much. And if you have questions, Please don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate. Oh, sis, you don't impress me now. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to text in the chat box. You know that you know the because I see that there should be, and there even at this late hour, even even out here, like, but all of my things except for my cell phone, of course, but it says it's 12:25 East Coast time. um and I'm out here, and Ms. Davis, I just did not know that my time had run out on me low. No, so um the women that are were in the session with me today, they said, "You're still gonna do it? You're still gonna do your your live stream?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." Exactly. Exactly. Come hell or highest water, if it's God's will, we going to get together. It's like this woman is something. Yeah, the I really feel that this is a very important topic, way more important than my business meeting that I had tonight is the fact that becoming a millionaire, is something that, we actually can do while working. And even if your job doesn't have have a work retirement plan, you can use IRAs. Oh, Mr. Ramsey said, Ms. Davis, that he was wondering where I was tonight. Exactly. Over here working. That's all there.
Yeah,
Be-
Mr. Jefferson had come on and he had
Stop.
chatted.
Stop.
Yeah, yep, he did. He said
HOA.
we thought he thought you were probably dropping a coin in for me at the slot machine or something, and I said no, she's at the bar drinking.
We know that wasn't it. I know. They were looking at me funny too. Cause I was like, no, no, thank you. I don't drink. No, 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 thank you. I don't drink.
See,
And
it's after hours now, JB. I'm sorry.
and they got it like, and they have the bar, like they have the club. I'm on the club floor.
Hmm.
So some of the people, I'm sure, have been drinking all day since they got off their flight. You know, that's why I thank God that I don't drink. Like, because once you get into like these type of jobs and things, they can be to your demise because you have access to so much stuff. Like, people say that in Hollywood, there's a window from this building where I can see the Hollywood sign. I'm
Hmm.
gonna try to find it so I can take a picture for y'all. In the but the craziest thing I think was getting to the Uber off the airplane. The airplane and everything was fine, but you can't catch Uber at the airport. You have to go to a Uber lot. And then when you go, so you got to get all your luggage onto that shuttle.
Hmm.
So of course I was excited. I looked at it as an opportunity. So it was like get workout in,
Get a little
like get
workout
over
in.
exactly. But
Get
I
your
was like,
walking in. Yeah.
I really felt sorry for people because you could see like a lot of people were struggling, because you had to
Hmm.
get, they didn't help you. You had to get it up into that shuttle and get it up, up and put it up and wherever. And they were putting way too many people on the shuttle. So I ordered my vitamin C and they, because I forgot to wear a mask. And then I have no intention of wearing a mask back home. So dear God help me. But the no, just the that's traveling today is just nobody had a mask on. So Chris Williams was on that plane. She would have been the only one with the mask on. Y'all tell me if you traveled today, would you wear a mask? I'm just curious. I hope it'll, put it up here. Would you, when you just went, you just flew somewhere. Do you wear a mask?
Yeah, I will put it on the flight. Uh, yeah.
You do.
Mhm.
Why?
Things are still circulating to me. I think they
Mm.
are. So far,
Mhm.
I
One of my
really
flights was
haven't.
like 4 hours.
Yeah, been sick. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So I think
Yeah.
it's due to that. But
Mm.
yeah, I would.
Girl, I
Yeah.
know. Just
But
the
now, I may not, if I'm going into the convenience store, I may not have it on then.
You do?
Yeah. I may not.
Oh, you may not have it just
Hmm.
around locally. Yeah.
Yeah.
The yeah, and then I was out again, no mask. So bottom line is like we just have to like, try to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. And I think a key way to stay healthy, keep your immune system strong is to avoid stress. A key
Hmm.
way to avoid stress, because a major stress that people have is financial. No, and the I think that with proper planning, the work plans, or if you even if your job doesn't have a plan, have a retirement plan for you that you could use things like the individual retirement account, and we can accumulate, money by evaluating your risk tolerance, and then
Hmm.
we set up a portfolio using even an individual retirement account, and that you could actually, you know save even more than $1 million. Because at this point, if you work somewhere and they don't have a pension, you know mm, many people that are going to be retiring in the next 20 years or so, or even tomorrow, your needs might be more than what you think. The how many bills do you have? What is the budget that you would need? And because I'm talking about $1 million only because it's just a figure to say, but for some people who have large amounts of debt, $1 million may not be enough if you're going to retire and you're still looking at some big payments that you need to make. But in order to establish that, in order to find that out, that a key move is to start talking with me now. No, sign up for the Afro Economics membership, at least the free level of membership. No, so that you can start just developing a consistent commitment to your financial well-being. That the more that we're in sync, the more that we're discussing, the more it keeps you on point, I believe. No, I can't imagine that talking to someone who is, or spending time each week with someone that focuses on your financial well-being could work against you in any way. What do you think, Ms. Davis? Do you think, like, um just talking with me, or just participating on this level, don't you think it helps you have a certain level of just financial awareness?
Oh, absolutely. And just the things that you can
Yeah.
learn. Even,
Mm,
okay, as difficult as, for example, the course you taught on bonds,
mm,
it's difficult for me to
mm,
wrap my head around it. I
mm.
may know 1/10 more, or I may have gained 1/10 more information
Amen.
about bonds that I didn't really know. And
Amen.
there are all types of them. And
That's
they,
right.
they, it's different from stock. The
That's right.
stock I better understand, but
That's
bonds are
right.
far more complicated. And
to
so,
you, to you.
oh heck yeah.
There's millions of people who probably think that bonds are much less complicated,
Oh,
and that they feel like stocks are very it's just you have a preference, You know what I'm saying? And what
Well,
you
I
took
kind of,
time
yeah,
out to
I've
focus on.
conceptualized
Yeah,
stock much greater,
yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah.
think that, being
Mhm,
in an environment where at least this
mhm,
part of us and the
mhm.
people that come in on Fridays, we're like-minded in that way.
That's right,
Yeah, we
right.
may get off topic and talk about all
Mhm,
other kinds of things, but
mhm,
at the same
mhm,
time, I rely on this and on these forums because the
mhm,
people I'm surrounded by aren't
mhm.
talking about this,
That's right,
and they're talking about
that's right,
everything else.
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
need to hear this. Yeah,
And
so
and and I think a lot of times, people take it for granted. It's kind of like if a person goes to the gym and they, were going to the gym and they had a group of friends that were at the gym, and then if they actually them and the group of friends hired a trainer that was helping them and and they were all of a sudden one of the friends said, I don't even need that no more. I'm just gonna go, and do this on my own. Like I don't need to hear that. You know, over maybe not within the first weeks or so, but over time, that person who didn't have the support system
mhm.
statistically will be more likely to gain weight and get off track and become unhealthy than the person who was with the support system and had the personal trainer, like, which parallels directly to the benefits of Afroeconomics. And that's only in a group setting. And you have actual individual membership, so you get one-on-one time. So we get to actually just focus on your goals versus
Mhm.
if a person, just stays in the group, they're getting the advantage of the consciousness, the awareness, the commitment, the consistency, but they don't get anyone just focusing on their work retirement plans.
And
So,
then, you know,
yeah.
you can
Mhm.
have, okay, you can have like a, brokerage with, as I had
Mhm.
with Wells
Mhm.
Fargo,
Mhm.
but the
No name.
representative, he never reached
Mhm.
out to me and said,
Mhm.
"Hey, how you doing? It's been a month." If
Yeah.
I called him
Mhm.
with a question, he answered, but the
Mhm.
individualized attention
Mhm.
I did not get. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to get
Yeah.
that with Fidelity. You're not going to get
Mhm.
that with Vanguard.
Yeah. And
You'll get what
a
you
lot.
get if
Yeah.
you reach out
Yeah.
to them. They're not going to reach out to you. It's like a set it
Yeah.
and forget it.
Yeah. And it's about, and we don't value ourselves the way that we should. We don't give the someone that is committed to your success, the value that you should. And as the advisors that I was working with today and tomorrow, tonight, they were just talking about, like, they don't see their clients as often as
Mhm.
my members and clients see me and talk to me. Like, there, I mean, there's just a total, difference in that. Like, like tonight, like, you know, it's very hard for me. It would be impossible for me to go to sleep tonight without having, touched bases and put this into the record books on becoming a millionaire using your 401k, your TSP, the 403b, the 457, whatever the tax code is at work, or an individual retirement account. I wanted this in. And you have to want that for yourself as well. You got to want yourself to become a millionaire and more than I want you to become a millionaire and more. Like,
Mhm.
these are values that you have for yourself. I met you that with those values, and like the no, I don't think that we put enough time in finding people to support us with what our goals are, what's important to you individually. And because in many ways we've been socialized to think, well, I don't have enough, or my goals don't matter. I will get back to that later. Just do what you can at work, and don't nobody's going to talk to you about it. No, that's true. You might not know anyone that's going to talk to you about it, but right here and now, you have someone that helps the members of Afro Economics maximize the work benefits. And if they are committed to regularly checking and staying on their money, I'm committed on helping them stay and build their money
This
and
is
maximize the work plans.
the
Yes.
one you've heard me say this before, but a lot of the people I'm surrounded by, they will say, tomorrow is not promised. What are
Mm,
we saving for?
that's
Saving
right.
for what?
That's right.
And then I
Mm,
know someone else. She told me, if I plan for rainy days will come.
mm,
Look here.
mm,
I've been living long enough to know there will be rainy days. I can't predict when they're going to come, but they
mhm.
will show up. Let's not act
Amen.
like, you know,
Amen. With
you
your
know,
retirement, people should think about the fact that their retirement account is not a rainy day fund. You're building a sunny day fund.
but you know
You're
what I mean.
building, you know what I'm saying? You building your money, you're saving your money book, for good days. I don't understand why people always think, that their savings is for, bad days. Their savings is for that, so that they will have the money that they need to do what they want to do during their time, their next chapter of their life.
But what I'm saying, JB, these are people that aren't saving at all for
Oh,
anything.
that's
That's the thing
sad.
I'm saying.
That's sad. But that's sad because they really feel that that those things don't matter. Like, and if they can do this, if they can actually not have any bills, like their house paid for, their car paid for, everything paid for. They can't even, have a, a spouse who is paying all their bills because something could happen to that spouse. So that wouldn't really count. But if they have everything in their name paid for, and they know that they have more than enough money that's going to feed and do the repairs on all of these things that they have already paid off. Because a lot of times by the time you have it paid off, house or car, now your money's got to go towards maintenance,
Hmm.
which can be more than the car payment or the house payment,
Yep.
just on maintaining the taxes. I was looking at someone today in a little teeny house, and it's 4,000 a year on the taxes. Over
Mm.
4,000. So that's, basically near $400 a month
A month.
just for
Yeah.
the taxes on the property. You didn't even get to insurance. You didn't even get to something broke down. And then what if it still has a payment? So you starting with just that. So it's, it's, and instead of it, in my opinion, they shouldn't look at like, oh, I'm not gonna save because I don't know if I'm gonna be here or not. We really have to figure out a way that to make sure that we can take care of ourselves if we're here. You know what I'm saying? Death, death is fine. Now, disability can be real inconvenient, but death is fine. If they know for a fact they're going to die before they need any money, you know what I'm saying? They're good. They're good. If death is their
Who knows
plan,
that?
exactly.
Yeah.
This person who's not saving, or not paying off things, or They better do one. They better be focused on making sure that they pay off everything, and then just stop. Remember, still got to be maintained. So you're going to always need some money. You're going to have to, have some funds to take care of things. And then, but that's why the planning is so important, and when we start the membership, we start, with this financial planning software, and I feel like, allowing this algorithms and artificial intelligence to work and gathering data is what it does best. The analysis and the critical thinking and applying new rules, laws, and products and services and things to you, that's what I do best. But, we just put this little data in and I can spit the little numbers the different ways. I can analyze it. I know what to ask the machine to do. So, but you have to take that time to give me the data. So we put it in there so you can, start seeing, oh, well, if this matters to you, no, well, if that, if it matters to you that you want to leave some money behind, then we need something for that. If it matters to you, well, if your concern is how are you going to pay for, medical bill down the road, then we need some money for that. If your concern is, oh, I've got two grandchildren and I want to make sure that, their college is paid for, then we need some money for that. So it's about looking at exact what is specifically important to you. And I think, that when a person is ignorant and all they're looking at is today, then it's easy for them to say, like, I don't need to, save anything. I don't need to, be conscious or aware or do rational planning and strategic planning, things like that, because they just don't want to do any planning. They don't want to think about it that deeply. And I think a lot of the problems with people's financial lives are they don't want to face up to it. We can say that, about people's lives in general. It probably translates over. When a person, doesn't want to, take responsibility for certain different aspects of their life, it probably goes over into they're more likely to not want to take responsibility for these things in their life. Or, a person who is at a irresponsible place in their life, statistically, could be proven probably that they're more likely, to, have a problem taking care of themselves. They're more likely to say be behind on their child support. They're more likely, to be unemployed, you know, and or go out of business if they had a business or things like that, because they don't have the basic discipline to face up to the basic accountabilities of life. Like do you want to be accountable? Do you want to be responsible, for yourself? Do you want to take care of it? Do you want to take care of yourself, or are you comfortable with the idea that you may be a burden to someone else at some point down the road? No. So, and that takes a lot. Sometimes people have to realize that even though they wanted to, retire at, 55, they might discover that they have not planned accordingly. They're 54. They want to retire at 55, and they just started thinking about how much it's going to cost them to retire. And they got like 6 months. We have to do these things as early as possible, because some of the plans will have a match and you can match it. Some of the plans won't have a match. Some of the plans will allow you to do, catch up where when you get over 50, they'll allow you to put in a greater contribution than a person
Mhm.
under 50 to kind of catch up the years of not maximizing your participation. So it's, those are all of the things that we sit down and we look through together. The people that work for the federal government, we typically are calling the Office of Personnel Management at some point in our planning process, trying to make sure that we have all the information on, say, the investment options. So we have all the information on the amount of pension that will be received at a particular age down the road. So there, there it is possible to use these work plans and to become very wealthy.
JB, are you seeing the comments that people are making?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
No, I'm glad you said that.
all right, Ms. Whitaker,
Oh,
Ms.
y'all,
Whitaker, you still
what
around?
what y'all doing up? I love it. Oh,
D-Man
look,
Entertainment,
Barbara says she's back.
she's back.
The
And then D-Man
what was I
Entertainment,
looking at? Just talking to you. Oh, then Adrian made several comments. The
yeah.
She said, I can't believe it has been over 30 years since we were two young 10-year-olds. People listen to JB. It is 100% true. Invest consistently. Keep your budget in debt. Decrease your debt. And I promise you, you will be a millionaire long before your retirement. In fact, she will help you become job independent. There is nothing better than waking up and going to work because you want to
Mhm.
and not because you have to. Thank you, Lord. Amen. And then the man said pros and cons, traditional, Roth, and rollover. Well, the definitely those are the Roth and the rollover and the traditional are, you cannot roll over work money into a Roth IRA. You would roll it over into a traditional IRA and then you could roll it over into a Roth, but it would be a taxable event. So if the participant had a specific tax situation where the Roth would be, best for them, then I would definitely explain that. It just, it depends. I've yet to really see, where a person would truly benefit from paying all those taxes that I would have to be paid on transferring a traditional to a Roth. But I might meet somebody one day and they actually, have huge amounts of money coming in that are going to bring up their income, and they know for sure down the road, when they retire, that their income will be a lot higher, and they feel like they have too much, in their traditional. So but we would have, that would definitely depend on the specific situation. That would be key planning on for and that's a true benefit of the membership, so that you can ask questions like that, so that they're not so generic. The because what's most important is that you develop a relationship, with your financial advisor, so that you're actually getting advice that's going to help you most in your life. A lot of times, like, people listen to people like me, and I'm just giving it because I am licensed, that I'm giving generic advice on what research has shown, or what traditionally has worked best. I have to be very careful on how I articulate things and I explain things so that that the average person would not take it, to mean like I specifically want them to, do this particular move. So, um, but I can always just explain why it's good to participate in the work plan. It's just so convenient. It's easy for you to do right through your paycheck before you get it. So you don't get it and then you have to put it into something else. So if it's available for you to at work, you put it in there and then it reduces your taxable income for the year that you're putting that money over. You're deferring, they're called deferred compensation plans, the TSP, the 457, the 401k. That's the tax code for the retirement plans for those particular um, entities. So a corporation will have a different tax code than a nonprofit would have on its retirement plan. It could be like a 403B. The 457 is a deferred compensation plan for a municipality's retirement plan. And the TSP is the term used for federal employees, the thrift savings plan. But they're all deferred compensation plans that may have different levels of company participation. Yes, Ms. Davis.
My problem with these plans, especially
Mm-hmm.
the 401k, when it was
Mm-hmm.
introduced as I knew it back in the early 80s, one of the biggest selling points of this was
Thank
you can borrow the money from yourself.
you.
Yes,
Mm,
you can do that. Okay. And that's fine. But when you pay, you pay it back, it's at a different percentage, where the market is. So you paying it back, you borrowed a dime, but you got to pay back 15 cents, kind of
mm,
thing. And that was one of the biggest selling points. But I thought for especially our folks,
mm,
we really didn't need to really, in my opinion, hear that.
mm. That's
And
right.
then the other thing is the 401k, it's
Mm.
not a checking account. You know, oh, you know what? We are
Uh,
only allowed to take 3 loans this year when we could have had 4 last year. Come
mm,
on.
that's right.
Seriously? Mm-mm.
Mm. I
And
know, and you're
you
right.
can't
Very
tell
good
people,
point. Hmm.
what to do with their money. But I would just hear this in earshot and, just being at work. And I would hear people say, oh, we can only get 2 loans this year.
Mm.
Really?
And then,
Seriously?
yeah,
You
and
know,
the worst part is, oh well, in addition to all those things you said that are bad, like, but it's that sad part is when you're paying those 2, 3 loans back, that $200 for the first one, $300 for the second one, and then say $150 per pay period for that next one. So put it together, it's what, near $500. That's $500 that you're not saving additionally because you had to take those loans out. No, you're only paying yourself back. So during the time where you're taking out the loans, they have to actually take your money out of the market and put it over
hmm
into this fund for the loan fund. No, so if the market is kicking butt, during that time, then you're
you're missing
basically
out.
slowing, you're slowing
You're
down your
missing out.
savings. And
But you
that's the
took it
part
out
that
and
we,
it was a dime. But you're
yep,
paying it back. Now it's 15 cents, maybe 20. Could be double the
yeah.
amount.
And
And
then,
then,
and they're playing. Well, see, their argument is that they're paying that interest to them, that extra nickel to themselves. You know, oh yes, you are, but the market could have returned you 20%.
yeah, and you lost out.
And exactly, and all you're getting is your own money the interest that you're paying on your own money to yourself.
And The other thing is the people who I'm surrounded by who go around doing this. Like one guy, he took out money to go get a bicycle.
And he must have wanted like e-bike. A lot of people at the meeting with me tonight, they were talking about how they love their e-bike, but I was saying like, it's cool, but the part that you need most from the bicycle, you know what I'm saying? The e-bike takes out. They go like, oh, it helps best with hills and you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But that's what we need the bike for. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need it to for you to push yourself through the hard part. So I was like, all you have to do when you can't get up the hill is get off the bike and push your bike up. Like, you know what I mean? Just take the bike up in your hand until your legs, or also, right, you just let up the speed, right? Or you let up the gear that you have on the bike so that it's easier for you to get up the hill, depending on which one you want. But that is what you need. And that's what people need to also apply to their money. That hard part of, I'm not going to take out that loan. I'm not going to get that new car yet. I'm going to put that hard part is why we have to stop avoiding the easy solutions. Like you
And
said,
what?
like, did he really need that bike? Like, you know what I'm saying? What was wrong with the old bike?
Okay, another sister, she took money out. Okay, this really floored me. I have a coworker who called me
Mm-hmm.
up at
Mm-hmm.
my day job. She says, I'm getting ready to take some money out of my 401k. I
Mm.
just want to know if you need anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I on
Mm-hmm.
one end, but I had to tell her, please don't go around calling everybody, asking everybody this question, because
Yeah.
everybody else is going to tell you yes.
That's
What you
right.
getting? What you taking out?
That's right.
Okay, well let me have 1,000. Let me have two.
That's right. And you going around collecting, like you a loan company with no interest while they're charging you interest
Wait a minute,
to
but
take it
JB,
out. Mm,
the
mm,
people are
mm.
not would not pay her back.
Yeah, and that's the worst. That's
Yeah,
even worse. That's even worse.
but she did. She called
Yeah.
me up. She said, "I'm taking some money out of my 401k. I just want to know if you
Yeah.
need something." And I
Yeah.
thought that was so sweet of her, but I wouldn't take
Yeah.
advantage of her like that.
Well,
No.
Mr. Ramsey, you right. Like I used to want it, a e-bike, but like it's got to be because you want it because it's a cruiser. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I mean, I get it. I ride a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? But I don't ride my motorcycle in exchange for exercise. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I ride, the motorcycle because it's like a car. To me, like when you get to an e-bike, you're getting over there where it's like, you are allowing yourself to take an exercise and make it easy for you. No, where the bicycle was supposed to be a form of exercise. Okay, yes, indeed. And then, but they don't, we're just not encouraged to do things that might I'm glad you're back, Barbara. I forgot what I put that up. We're not encouraged to do things that just might be a little uncomfortable for us right now in order to get the better future. No, but I'm arguing that, we can do, you know, some things that are uncomfortable now. Like instead of, spending money during a job transition, but just do the rollover where you're taking it from the work plan and putting it into an individual retirement account. So that's why it's called a rollover. No. And then you're rolling it over from work and you're rolling it over to an individual retirement account, but then you have to make sure that you manage it properly. And what we do is try to make sure that we do, even better. I mean, of course, the goal is to do even better than what you were doing before. No, but it requires the discipline, the sacrifice of not spending the money. No, there's so many people that every time they do a job transition, instead of doing a rollover, they do the form and say, pay this money directly to me. That is a taxable event. And if you're under 59 and a half, it could be a taxable event along with a tax penalty. So be very careful on in talking. Make sure that we communicate through job changes, job transitions. It can be a great time to get ahead, but it could be also a time that is utilized to actually slow down your retirement because you don't do the right thing with the money that you have been putting away. So you have the goal of making sure I get the information to JB or my financial advisor about all the retirement options, the retirement plan options at this new job. No. So you want to get all of those options to your financial advisor, so they can help you. I help set up the allocation for the new job, but I have to get the information. The client provides me with the information on all of the options. That is a privilege of being a member of Afro Economics for the full membership people. And that is, a big part of having the motivation to value your dollars, because you have to be really motivated to take it that seriously when it's like you can't see. That's where your faith comes in, because you can't see it. You don't think you have a lot of money now, so you can't imagine that you actually could grow it the way it could grow over the next decade or even year. So there's so much that we can do if you're committed to making sure that you get the help that's needed. No, that I mean, you can save less than a person. I mean, and still outperform them because of choosing the right investment options. You can save less than a worker and end up with more money over the same time period because of the superior selection of the investment options for your account, for that work account, for that IRA account, your individual retirement account. So you have a lot of control over if you're a thousandaire or a millionaire, but you have to take the steps to show to show your money that you care. No, you first have to, show your money that you care about it, that you want to be financially independent, that money is not for death, money is for the living. You dead, you ain't gonna need none. You're alive, you're gonna need it. That makes sense. So, some key things that I need for us to grab out of this is, first, get all of the information at your work retirement plan. I want to make sure you know the tax code for your work retirement plan. Make sure that you know what is the maximum contribution that you can put into your work plan, and that can help you discover these things together. And then also, what is the match? What is the company match into the company retirement plan? And what is the company vesting period for the work retirement plan? Investing is how long do you have to work there before you can take their contributions into your retirement plan with you. It might be a year, it might be 2, it might be 5. It might have a step up vesting period that on how you earn their company match. But we need to know these things. And I'll remind you that when we have our meetings together, know how much income you estimate that you're going to need upon your retirement. A good rule of thumb is that you're going to need at least 70% of what you're making when you retire. 70%. That might be right for some. That might be way too low for others. We got to talk about that. Indeed. But I think that, I just want us to, to leave this here on yes, you can. Yes, you can become, um, uh, you know, we can accumulate as much wealth as you take the time for us to develop through any of the work retirement plans. We just have to make a commitment to maximizing it and increasing our knowledge of your work retirement plan. I meet people all the time that have worked at that particular job for 20 plus years, and still they have never taken the time to get those questions I just asked answered. Yes, so that workplace retirement plans, yes, can indeed be an effective financial investment, an effective financial tool. Indeed. And then some smart moves, the smartest move on investing your money and accumulating your assets is to make sure that your allocation is in sync with your risk tolerance, meaning how your money is being invested is in alignment with your desires. Yes. Is that, do you want this type of risk? Like, as David's just saying, like, she likes stocks more than bonds. And then you find out, oh, wow, how did I do this? People find out all the time, like, that their portfolio is totally opposite of what they thought that it was, because they're assuming that the actual name on the investment or mutual fund is actually what that name suggests. A lot of times, the name could be very awkward, and that's not what you want. Imagine if she said, I really want to focus on, equity, stock, investments. And we look into the portfolio and she has all these bonds investments in there. Happens way too often. And then the other question, like, how to make job changes, work to your benefit. First of all, make sure that whenever you're changing a job, you got to make sure that it works to your benefit. try to avoid, by any means necessary, just changing jobs. Make sure that the job change is in your best interest completely. Compensation will be up. Workplace stress will be down. No, and that you're completely happy with the growth potential at the new job. Mm, mm, mm. But definitely, make sure that you take advantage of the no excuses free Afro Economics membership. So, this week the meeting is going to be on Saturday morning, because I will be back on the East Coast. And I apologize sincerely that we got started so late. or even you might consider this early on the next day. But I was determined. I was determined that we were going to do this tonight instead of saying, "Oh, we're not going to do Wednesday night." But I apologize to whoever gets to see this. I'm going to, you know, put this into the emails. Those of you who do get the emails, so that they can click and get all of the this. They can watch this at their convenience. No, I think I'll text it out to everybody that's in the database so that they can I'll just say, click here to see last night's video, and then that way I will feel better knowing that everybody had it. And I appreciate you. And you'll see this, me telling you that I appreciate you. And I am so thankful for the opportunity to serve each of you. I hope that something that I said tonight has empowered you in a huge way. And, I look forward for to taking care of you and being your financial advisor for many, many, many years to come. Yes, it is time. It's time for
Ramsey says, great time for drinking,
I knew
learning,
you
and
loved
listening.
that.
Cheers to you, Mr. Ramsey. Cheers to you.
And he's referring to water. This
I
ain't
got it
time
in a
for
mason jar, okay?
drinking clean water,
It's
learning,
clean water, all right.
and listening, and taking action that's in your best interest. God is good.
All the
I
time.
love you. I love you. I love you, Miss Davis. I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank
Love you
you.
too.
Thank you, Adrienne, for your kind words.
Right.
And I appreciate each of you so much, more than you could ever imagine. May health follow you wherever you go. Good health, great wealth.
Have
Great
a good
health and great
convention.
wealth. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything I learned, I'm bringing it back. Bringing it back to empower you threefold.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. I'm in the same hotel with the Clippers and stuff. That's the
Good.
yeah.
All right.
Team. I haven't seen any of them, but that's what Miss Wilson told me. I saw Barbara Wilson today. She was looking fantastic.
She was online.
She said, yeah, she was. Yeah,
She was.
y'all was just having a party without me.
Mr. Jefferson was on. He was waiting around.
Y'all was just talking. Wait, don't let me go in there and see some Texas.
Oh, you will. You're going to see some chats.
Thank you for holding it down.
Yeah, go check them out.
I ain't hear my phone ring at all. Y'all weren't worried about me. Y'all knew I was fine. You're like, she just partying. Got her time zones all messed up.
Yeah, Miss Barbara said that she'd seen you, and
She did.
Yeah.
Exactly. She said, I don't know what happened, but we were going out. Yeah, and I was on the shuttle, and I knew it was like I shouldn't even look at it because I'm in a group. I just never imagined that time went by so fast. But I'm glad y'all are still up. How you doing, Mr. Jefferson, HOA? I got your message, Mr. Jefferson. We're going to get that schedule changed. I appreciate you.
Yeah, he came back.
I love it. All right. Take care. Come on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Come on. Hey. Come on.
ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana
Saturday, don't forget.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami angikholana
Come on.
wami angikholana
Come on.
ilondoloze uhambe nami